Hello and welcome to the news at 7 with all the stories from Scotland and beyond. Tonight, resident doctors and the Health Secretary say they'll continue talks over the festive period to avoid strike action next month. And elsewhere, Chris Rea, the singer famed for driving home for Christmas, has died at the age of 74. Hello, I'm Laura Miller. Welcome to the news at 7. Resident doctors and the Scottish Health Secretary are going to continue negotiations over the festive period in the hope of calling off a strike. The medical professionals, formerly known as junior doctors, are due to stage a 4-day strike next month in a row over pay. They held talks earlier today, as Suzanne Allen reports.
Last week, resident doctors voted in favour of strike action from 7 a.m. on Tuesday the 13th till 7 a.m. on Saturday the 17th of January. The British Medical Association say the Scottish Government has reneged on a deal from 2023 to restore the value of their pay to levels last seen in 2008, but add that today's meeting was constructive.
Doctors across Scotland, as well as the public, don't wish to see us walk out on strike, and we are taking every effort, every possible opportunity to try and avoid that. So our hope is certainly to avert action, but that will only happen if a deal is brought to us which we can put to members.
This morning, as the First Minister was visiting a new service that will help children recuperate at home, run by the Royal Hospital for Children in Glasgow, discussions with the Scottish Government and the BMA were going on. The Scottish Government feel its offer is a fair one.
There is no way that we can avoid all the implications that industrial action will cause, and that's why I hope that resident doctors can find a way to ensure that this strike action is called off and that we can get round the table and find a meaningful route through what is an industrial dispute over pay.
If this goes ahead, it will be the first time resident doctors in Scotland have gone on strike. Both the BMA and the Scottish Government say they're committed to further discussions over the Christmas and New Year period. Suzanne Allen, reporting Scotland, Glasgow.
The singer-songwriter Chris Rea, known for hits including Driving Home for Christmas, has died at the age of 74. His family says he died in hospital following a short illness. Lizo Mazimba looks back on his life.
I'm driving home for Christmas. Oh, I can't wait to see those faces.
A reminder both sad and timely
Driving home for Christmas, yeah.
of the way Chris Rea's music never failed to resonate with millions.
And it's been so long.
One of a string of hits from a songwriter with a gift for creating ear-catching riffs. One of his earliest top 20 successes, Let's Dance, an escapism classic. Much of his success was because so many could relate to the health problems that he faced.
Yeah, I don't have a pancreas and I don't have a duodenum anymore, so I can't absorb fat. So I have to be very careful what I eat. And I'm also type 1 diabetic, so the sugar thing and the 5 injections a day. And I also have a very low immune system.
Chris Rea was a musician who was never much interested in celebrity. He was a rare pop star for whom music was far more important than money or fame.
Chris Rea, who's died at the age of 74. A major incident has been declared at a canal in Shropshire in the West Midlands after a 50-metre-long sinkhole opened up. 2 narrowboats sunk into a deep hole with another left teetering on the edge. Nafti Johal reports.
Going, almost gone. This dramatic footage captures the moment in the early hours of this morning when the earth literally swallowed up a boat. people living in narrowboats on the Llangollen branch of the Shropshire Union Canal were awoken to this bizarre and terrifying scene. A few hours later, the full horror of what happened was laid bare. 2 narrowboats have been sucked into a giant hole and another remains teetering on the edge. Millions of litres of water have flooded the nearby field. Paul Story filmed the early morning carnage.
It was scary. The force of the water and the sound was incredible. The spray from the foam was coming. The spray from that water was coming onto us. The bank was crumbling away right in front of us, and we just moved out of the way, shouting for everybody to get back. And yeah, just so it's a miracle really that no one's been hurt.
Lorraine also lives in a boat moored near the site.
I could hear some gushing of water. My boat started to tilt towards the middle of the canal, and I could hear the ropes getting tighter, so I got up, got dressed, came out, and there was no water in the canal.
Around 50 firefighters helped to rescue 15 people from their boats. There were no reports of casualties.
No one was injured. We are very, very fortunate. I think that's the swift actions by the residents of the narrowboats to evacuate as soon as they knew there was an issue. This is a really unusual incident, not only for us in Shropshire, but I imagine nationally.
Those who were rescued were taken to the nearby fire station. Investigations are ongoing into what caused this incident, including reports that the area was checked a few weeks ago.
This particular asset has been recently inspected and is found to be in good condition. You can't always see everything, so things do take you by surprise, but there are signs that we can look out for at ground level, and none of those signs were noted on the last inspection.
Well, clearly the clean-up here is going to take quite some time. And although it must have felt like carnage on the canal this morning, the fact that nobody apparently was hurt could be interpreted as a Christmas miracle.
Nafti Johal with that report. To some of the day's other stories from around the world now. And police in Australia say the 2 men involved in the mass shooting at a Hanukkah celebration on Sydney's Bondi Beach carried out a recce of the site 2 days earlier. It's one of the allegations in newly released court documents which outline the case against Naveed Akram. It's alleged he carried out the attack along with his father Sajid, who was shot dead by police. Denmark has warned the United States to respect its sovereignty after Donald Trump appointed a special envoy to Greenland. The US president has previously threatened to annex the Danish autonomous territory. The new envoy, Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry, says he aims to make Greenland a part of the US. To sport now, and the Hearts manager Derek McInnes says he expected his side to beat Rangers as the Tynecastle club maintained their 6-point lead at the top of the Premiership. Elsewhere, Wilfred Nancy was delighted to get his first points on the board as manager of Celtic. Paul Barnes has more.
With every win, excitement around Tynecastle grows. Could this be the year that Heart of Midlothian are crowned champions of Scotland for the first time since 1960? They've got 20 games to turn that dream into a reality, but yesterday they delivered a body blow to one of their main rivals for the title. A 2-1 victory over Rangers keeps Hearts 6 points clear at the top and stretched their lead over the Ibrox side to 12. Rangers started well and thought they'd taken an early lead, but Bojan Majowski was marginally offside. That seemed to jolt Hearts into gear, and they scored twice just before half-time. Stuart Findlay's header finished a well-worked set-piece. Then Lawrence Shanklin's shot was too hot to handle for Jack Butland. Yusuf Chermiti made it 2-1 in stoppage time, but it was too little, too late for Rangers, and the Hearts bandwagon rolls on.
I certainly hope we can make this a special season. I think for us, I'm always hearing about we're top of the league only because other teams not being as good as they normally are, but actually points tally is actually where a team at top of the league normally is and around that, so we're pleased with it. That's all we can focus on.
Wilfred Nancy endured a wretched start to life at Celtic, overseeing 4 straight defeats, but he was finally up and running at home to Aberdeen. Celtic dominated possession and chances, and Benjamin Nygren opened the scoring. Despite having a player sent off, Kenan Bilalovic equalised for Aberdeen against the run of play. But just as the game was heading towards a draw, Kieran Tierney put Celtic back in front before James Forrest scored for the 17th straight season to bring some festive cheer to the home crowd and their relieved manager.
Since I came, I think that we deserve more. But again, like I said before, I can see an improvement every game. And tonight, well, I'm happy for the players because they deserve it.
Paul Barnes, reporting Scotland.
Celtic women's head coach Elena Sadiku has left the club and been replaced by Hibernian's Grant Scott, who's made the move from Easter Road to Parkhead. Scott led Hibs to their first ever SWPL title last season, but a compensation package has been agreed to allow him to move to one of their league rivals. Sadiku leaves Celtic, having led them to the title in 2024. Now, you might be enjoying all the Christmas lights up outside houses in your neighbourhood at this time of year. But one woman from Glasgow's Drumchapel goes above and beyond. She puts her light displays up not only for Christmas, but also occasions like Halloween and Valentine's Day. Gillian Sharp went along for a look.
A winter wonderland on the corner of a street in Drumchapel.
It brightens up a really dark corner and it just puts smiles on people's faces as they pass.
It's been a busy month for Sandra Lee Miles, getting ready for her favourite holiday of the year.
I just bring boxes out of storage and just start bringing them out bit by one, wiring them all in, securing them down, but I don't know, I've not even counted what I've got out.
Planning can take months.
We've had people coming and chatting our door to say, do you mind if we take the kids in to have a wee walk about? That's what it's all about.
A spot in the display honours Sandra's dad, who passed away last year. He began the outside decorations. When Sandra cared for her late mum, the lights brought them both joy.
Their house and their garden was very much like their haven as such, and they spent so many days, so many hours, so many nights out in their garden. So yeah, they very much just adored this space.
And although Christmas is a big focus, the lights go on for months. Autumn, Halloween, Guy Fawkes, Remembrance Day, St Andrew's Day, New Year, Burns Night, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Easter. And for anyone worrying about the electricity bills come January, Sandra says it's not too expensive to run. Well worth it for the joy the lights bring. Gillian Sharp, reporting Scotland.
Now, Judith has the festive forecast.
Good evening. Well, at the start of the week running up to Christmas, things are looking rather settled, and that's thanks to high pressure, which will stay with us right through this week. A weak weather front or two, perhaps bringing a bit of rain for northern Scotland, but the high continues to establish itself, bringing in a southeasterly flow, which means generally for eastern Scotland, a lot of cloud in the forecast. It does turn progressively colder as we head through the latter part of the week, just in time for Christmas Day. Tonight, though, a lot of cloud around across eastern Scotland with the odd spot of rain or drizzle. We lose any rain from the Northern Isles tonight, so clear spells up towards the northwest. Here it could be cold enough for a wee touch of frost, and we could see some mist patches forming. Mist and low cloud in that flow across eastern parts and through the central lowlands, for most of us around 4 to 6 Celsius. Into tomorrow, a generally dry start for most of us. Still the odd spot of rain or drizzle coming out of any thicker cloud across the east. Some sunshine for the northwest and the southwest as well. Then we'll see a weak front bringing thicker clouds, some outbreaks of showers rain across northern Scotland during the day. Mainly light southeasterly winds, that wee bit fresher across the Northern Isles, particularly so across Shetland. Highs generally 8 to 10 Celsius. Now, as we head into Christmas Eve, well, I'm glad to say that we'll see more in the way of sunshine pretty widely on Christmas Eve. Still a legacy of cloud across Angus, Perthshire up towards the northeast. Again, the odd spot of rain or drizzle coming out of that cloud, and around about 7 or 8 Celsius. And Christmas Day itself, again, a lot of dry weather, a fair bit of cloud around initially, but it will brighten up.
And that is it from us for now on the News at 7. We are back tomorrow, though, same time, same place. In the meantime, enjoy your evening. Good night.